Sir, I think where we broke is at the overhead. It's just showing you. And we show you that are identifying this area. You have your retro 11, and these are the pair.
That is correct.
And then I was putting on the overhead exhibit number 229. And that's you had a prior occasion to observe this photograph.
Yes.
And we asked to see if you could see those shoes in this photograph.
Neither of those shoes are in this photograph.
So I'm just going to ask you to take a look at a series of photographs here and ask you if you recognize them.
Yes, I do. That is the Air Jordan 11 Low. It's the same shoe that was in the first picture of the closet.
Okay, and just for purpose of clarification, when you say the same shoe, it's not the exact same pair, it's the same
No, it's
model or style.
just the same style, color. Yes. And that's the size label inside the shoes, or the country of origin label. Yes.
Okay. And do these photographs fairly and accurately represent the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low?
Yes, they do.
Your Honor, I'd offer these as nice.
No objection.
A through
May I use the overhead? I'm placing now 355A on the overhead. Recognize this if you do so.
That is the top of the Jordan box for this style. Yes.
And that logo you indicated earlier was represented the Air Jordan.
It's a Nike trademark. Yes.
And who's that logo representing?
That is Michael Jordan.
Placing 355B on the overhead. Recognize this, sir.
That is the end of the box showing the size, style, color, country of origin. So it's just our standard Nike label on an inner box.
You had an opportunity to determine whether this was an authentic Nike box and shoe and what was contained inside the box.
I confirmed that the shoes inside the box were real, yes.
Placing 355C on the overhead. What is this?
This is I guess, a top view of the front of the shoe of the Air Jordan 11 Retro Low.
Now, you indicated earlier that there was patent leather, white patent leather used in making the shoe.
You can see the basically the shininess of that the leather material here. That is a patent leather, yes.
And with regard to the sole of the shoe, where does the sole of the shoe start on the Air Jordan Retro 11 begin?
The sole of the shoe, again, is pretty unique for the Jordan 11 because it's a clear rubber, so you can see through it on the bottom. So it shows right where you have your pointer there. That's the tip that is laminated to the upper.
Okay. And with regard to the upper, you mean the white patent leather?
Yes.
And is that also the rubber part also visible from the sides as well?
Yes, it is.
And then with regard to the material now that's above the white patent leather, what is that?
It's basically black nylon.
And that's considered the upper, this area here.
Well, the patent leather and the black part is all stitched together, and that is considered the upper, yes.
Showing you now what's been marked is 355D. What is this depict?
This is in the heel area, and in this picture you can see the 2-3, and on the top of the Jumpman is the number 2-3.
Zeroing in on that?
Yes, right there you can see 2 and then 3 underneath it, yes. And then you have the Jumpman. And
Jumpman is that logo again?
that is the trademark. And then you can see the points and the clear rubber that's showing there.
And it's the picture here, that point you're describing, consistent with the photograph that I previously shown of the shoe you identified as the Air Jordan Retro 11 in the closet.
That is correct.
Putting on the overhead now, 355E. What does this view show?
This is a top view of the Air Jordan 11 low. You can see the Jumpman logo. Our trademark is on the sock liner. For reasons unknown, China requires that we put this. It's a size sticker, so that shoe there is a size 13 with that size sticker on the sock liner.
I see. Putting 355 down.
That is the bottom of the shoe. Again, it's a clear rubber so that you can see the black part of it's attached to the midsole is a carbon fiber plate. The Jumpman is in there, so they have a clear rubber so you can see that. But that is the bottom of the shoe, yes.
Okay. You say this is the bottom of the shoe. Does this shoe pattern, is that specific to the Air Jordan Retro 11?
Up until the June of 2013, yes. Well, it's from the original date, from 1996 till 2013. This outsole pattern is only on the Air Jordan 11, high and low.
Okay, so just so I can clarify that. In 1996, they made the first Air Jordan 11.
Correct.
Some number of years later, in 99, 2000, they came out with the Air Jordan Retro 11.
Correct.
the shoe pattern here on the Retro 11, is that the same, or is it different than what was manufactured, what was attached to the Air Jordan, just the Air Jordan 11?
It's the same. It's the same tooling from the whole process is using this. In a production process, the most expensive process is making molds to make this outsole. So we have used the same molds from the start.
Okay, so the Retro 11, any shoes that were made would be similar in sole pattern design as the original Air Jordan 11.
They should be exactly the same molds.
Same molds. Now, the only difference then between the shoes, the Air Jordan 11s versus the Air Jordan Retro 11s would be then the upper.
The upper end colors, color pops. So let's put it that way. Where the red may be blue, and and like that. So yeah, just color and the upper colors and high and low.
Okay, and when you're referring to the color red, meaning the sole.
Correct. Color red here.
Different in terms of color, but not pattern.
The exact same pattern, but possibly could be a black, could be blue, could be green, any color you want. As a color pop.
But with regard to this shoe now, the Retro 11, the color would all be the same, this color here, for the sole pattern.
For this style color.
This style. And that was the style that came out on June 8th of 2013.
That is correct.
So I'm placing now what's marked 355G. What is this here?
This is a side profile of the Air Jordan 11 low, again, showing basically the white patent leather. It does circle the complete shoe.
Just with regard to the pattern of that sole pattern, is portions of that visible in this photograph?
The clear rubber is on it. You can see the tip, and it just goes along the side there, and then in the back, yes, it just continues. That is the outsole. It's compressed rubber. The white part between the upper and the outsole is called the midsole, and that is a phylon part, yes.
And with regard to this, the outsole, the portions we can see in this photograph, what is this area in here and this area in here? Is that part of the design of that?
Well, it's part of the design. I would say the front part of it is probably for a flex point and stuff, just to design.
Showing now 355.
This is the medial side of the shoe, showing the profile of the medial side, again showing that the white patent leather goes completely around the shoe, which is for the Jordan 11, that whole style it's pretty unique that the material goes completely, one color goes completely around the shoe. It's pretty much the only shoe I've seen that has that.
I see. And just again with regard to the outsole, in the beginning, you can see portions of it at the top, and then as it comes around, again, this is that area that just actually down on the other side.
Yes.
And then what about in here, sir?
Well, like I say, they have the carbon fiber, so you have support in that area, and to decrease the amount of weight, you can narrow up. The outsole is pretty much the heaviest part of the shoe, so to decrease the weight of the shoe, you can narrow it up. And with the carbon fiber, you still have support, but you don't have the weight of the outsole.
And does this show that outsole then continuing over to that area that you described as the point?
That is correct.
Now, with regard to this, where the patent leather meets the black fabric material, is that shape, or the way it runs there, unique to the shoe?
Yes, it is. It's more on the lateral side, but very unique to that the shoe. Yes.
Last time we showed you what was marked 355I. What does this show, sir?
Well, basically, it's a country of origin. This tells customs, I guess, where the shoe came from, but it's also a size label. On there, we have a specific code number that we are able to confirm the shoe is real by. It has to match up the size the factory, the date, order date, the style, color. If one of those things is different, then it's a counterfeit shoe, and everything matched up on this shoe.
May I approach on?
I'm just going to show you this item. Ask you if you recognize it,
Yes, I do.
and then the items inside. Do you recognize these?
This is the Air Jordan 11 Low. Again, you can see very much if you looked at the pictures, again, the profile of the patent leather going completely around the shoe. But this is the Air Jordan 11 Retro Low.
Does that show in the color that it was manufactured in, as well as the...
That's the color that was manufactured. That's the color that was launched on June the 8th of 2013.
This is the next exhibit.
Objection.
Marcus, next exhibit.
If I could publish this one.
So this is the shoe I was showing you.
Yes, it is. That's the lateral side of the Air Jordan 11 Low.
This being the medial side.
Correct.
And I'm just showing you the underside. Recognize that as the sole.
That is the sole pattern with the clear rubber so that the jump man and the carbon fiber plate can be seen.
Your Honor, with your permission, can I just hold this up for the jurors to see? Thank you.
Now, sir, at some point, you indicated you had been contacted by the state police and were certain photographs sent to you for you to review.
Yes.
And do you know whether some of the photographs had come from a video? There were still shots from a video.
That is correct.
Okay. And, Your Honor, with the court's permission, if I could play from Exhibit 150.
And you're, Your Honor, I'm sorry. May I, Your Honor? If we could go on Exhibit 150 to the system time of 1:04, which shows as June 17, 2013, approximately 13:08. So June 17, 2013, at approximately 1:04. Okay, if we could, sir, can you see that on the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and you recognize those shoes?
They are the Air Jordan 11 lows, yes. They're very unique with, again, the
You
white.
answered the question.
Oh.
And just describe how
sorry.
you're able to recognize them.
Because of the white leather of the tip area, you can see the size of it. I mean, the amount of white leather and with the black upper. It's a very unique shoe.
Okay. Could we also now go to system time of June 17th, approximately 3:30 a.m. Shows as 15:34, 58, 59. And sir, with regard to the video that's on the screen here, did you also review this?
Yes, I did.
Do you recognize the shoes depicted?
And that's Air Jordan 11 low again, yes.
Now, if we can go. And Your Honor, with the court's permission, if we can now play off of Exhibit 228, also known as the Blue Hills video.
Can you see it well enough there or here?
Well, I've seen it before, so I can,
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
I should ask you to keep your voice up since you're away from the microphone.
Sir, can you see what's depicted in the foreground on the gentleman there bending over?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to have you focus on his feet.
Those are the Air Jordan 11 lows. Again, you can see.
And sir, you indicate you recognize those shoes.
Again, they're the Air Jordan 11 lows.
And how are you able to recognize them?
As you can see, the side profile of the white leather, white patent leather that basically, not basically, that goes completely around the shoe and with the black upper.
And based on your experience, those were unique shoes when they were manufactured, is that true?
That, for that color combination and that shoe, they're a unique shoe, yes.
Thank you, sir. You can resume the witness stand. So I'm just going to show you some still shots from the video. I was just showing, ask you if you recognize first those two.
Yes, I do.
And what do you recognize those to be?
The Air Jordan 11 low in the white black of the shoes you have.
And do you recognize those photographs from portions of the video that you just watched?
Yes, I do.
And these next three, I'm just going to show you. Take a look at those.
There are pictures from the video that you just shown me of the Air Jordan 11 low.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd offer these next two exhibits, please.
Your Honor, I think that some of these are already in, so I would object they're being put in again. I have no objection to the ones from the convenience store.
I don't believe they are in, Your Honor. We did check this morning, so.
Pictures of real.
A and B, 358 A through C.
Thank you. May I publish this, Your Honor? I'm first going to show you 357A. Recognize that as one of the.
These are photos, maybe you could just show the witness the photo of the monitress on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, do you have a view there, sir?
Yes, I do.
You recognize that as the photograph that I just showed you?
Yes, it is.
And is that one of the screenshots, the screenshot from that video that we had earlier identified those shoes?
Yes, it is.
Putting on 357B,
recognize what's depicted in this insert?
It's the same photo that you showed me.
And is that also coming from that video, screenshot of video?
Yes, it is.
And is that also the shoes that you identified?
That is the Air Jordan 11 low.
This one will get now. Recognize this insert.
That is the same picture, again, showing the Air Jordan 11 low.
Does that come off of the video inside the convenience store?
Yes.
$358B.
About the same Air Jordan 11 low from the video.
Also $358C.
Again, the same Air Jordan 11 low from the video.
Thank you, sir. You understand.
Sir, you indicated there was another set of a pair of shoes that you recognized on one of the shelves in that closet, is that right?
That is correct.
If you wouldn't mind just pronouncing that again for us.
It was the Air Jordan winterized Spiziki. Or Spiziki, I guess, yeah.
May I approach him? I'm just going to show you these three photographs and ask if you recognize what's depicted in those.
That is the Air Jordan winterized Spiziki.
And do these show just a couple of different shots of the pair, and a medial shot, as well as the sole pattern?
That would be a lateral shot in the bottom of the shoe, and basically a shot from the front of the shoe, yes.
Does that fairly accurately depict the style of the shoe, how they appeared, and also the sole pattern that was attached to those?
That is correct.
No, I don't think this is the next.
No objection.
Not in this exhibit.
April 6th.
Thank you. May I approach, please?
Facing 359 and the overhead. You recognize these as the Spazikis?
Now that is the, I would call it the Air Jordan winterized. Yes. Just a shot from the front of the shoe, yes, showing basically the tongue and the lace locks and the rubberized kind of pull tab up on top of the tongue.
And what is, let me just show you a different side here. 359B is on the overhead. You indicated there was certain material that was unique to this shoe that you observed on the pair that you saw in the closet.
In the heel area, it's got what they call an elephant pattern, kind of like an elephant skin pattern is a design that we have on that through the heel area here. Yes.
Is that shown on this photograph?
That is correct. And as you can see right back here is the kind of a plastic tab that has Spike Lee's Son of Mars or whatever, I think, picture of it on there. But yeah, it's again a unique shoe with all the different characteristics, all the different windows and lace locks and lace loops, and it's again another unique looking shoe that's pretty much, I think, a fashion hiking boot.
Let me show you what's normal. 359.
That's the bottom of the shoe, yes.
Yeah, approach, Your Honor. I'm just going to show you the items, the box, and also the items contained therein.
This is the Air Jordan winterized Spike ZZ shoe.
You can just hold that up. And with regard to the areas that you described, that some of the points.
In the counter area and the tip area, we have kind of it's an elephant skin pattern type thing, which is a Nike design pattern. We have, again, a rubberized tongue pull there. We have a lace lock, so you don't have to tie the shoes. You can just pull the laces through and locks it up. And there's, again, windows. You got lace iced aglets in here and stuff. It's all kind of and you put them all together, their individual characteristics and unique for this shoe style.
I'd offer this as the next exhibit.
No objection.
Next exhibit.
And if I could publish these in your frame. Placing 360 on the overhead, that's the shoe you just described.
That is correct.
That's the logo on the back.
That's the logo on the back. It's a rubberized logo on the back, yes.
And so we're able to determine whether these were in fact authentic, Nike winterized items.
It's by ZK's keys. Yes, they are.
You know, if I could publish these to the jurors as well. Sir, just so it's clear, these, you understand these shoes were not the shoes that came out of that closet.
But that is correct.
Representative of the type of shoes that were.
Same style, color, yes.
May I use the overhead, Your Honor?
So I'm just going to show you what's been marked 231C as overhead. So you recognize the scene depicted in this photograph?
It's a shoe next to a bed, I guess, or a box spring. Not a bed, but a box spring, yes.
At some point, did you have an opportunity to review this photograph?
Yes, I have.
And were you able to make certain observations of the item that the shoe in the photograph?
I was able to determine that that was the Air Jordan winterized Spiziki.
It's fair to say that I'm going to show you. If I could push on. Now that photograph,
In condition, it's fairly dark, is that true?
That is correct.
If I could approach, Your Honor. So I'm just going to show you this photograph and ask you if that depicts the same scene.
Yes, it does.
And is it in a better printed form where you can see that item?
Yes, I can, yes.
Okay. No, not all, but this goes the next exhibit.
No objection.
Mark is next to it.
Thank you. I could publish this, Your Honor, please.
now is in mark 361 on the overhead. You recognize that it's the same photo I showed you a few moments ago.
Yes, it is.
Just directing your attention back to the Can you see that?
Does that still appear dark?
It's getting blurred.
Does it appear, are you able to look at it better with the picture than on the overhead?
With the picture, it was probably with magnifying glass, I was able to use a Photoshop to lighten it and zoom it and stuff, so that's how I was able to easily identify it as the Air Jordan winterized.
And what items on it were you able to use to identify it?
The easiest ones is the lace locks, the pull tab on the top of the tongue, the straps. And there's quite a few different areas that made it an easy identifier.
Just pressing 231B. So can you make out much of the dark item next to the red shoes in this photograph?
No, it's just a dark item.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, if we could play off of Exhibit 228, which again is Blue Hill video. So I'm just going to ask you to draw your attention to this other individual shown now closest to the bottom of the screen and the footwear that he's wearing. Did you have a prior occasion or an opportunity to review this video?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to determine from the video the type or style of shoe?
I wasn't able to determine exactly the style, but I was determined that it was basically a hiking type shoe, because most hiking is brown, but that was being my determination. Not a specific style, but it's a hiking type brown shoe.
Okay. And just with regard to the shoe, the winterized boot that we've been talking about, is there anything inconsistent that you see where you could exclude that shoe as being shown in the video?
No.
Could we, with the court's permission, if we could now just go to Exhibit 1 to play a short segment from Exhibit 150, please. We could go to June 17th, 2013, system time 1:08 in the morning. Sir, have you previously seen this video or clips from the video?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And just from this video, were you able to make any determination about the footwear on this individual?
Just a brown type hiking shoe, yes.
Okay. And again, same question. Excuse me. Is there anything that you noticed where you could exclude the boot, the winterized boot that we've been talking about before?
No.
If we could go to the to video from the great room. Excuse me. June 17, 2013 at 3:29 a.m. system time. Sir, I'm going to just have you direct your attention to the individual in the foreground there, the footwear there. Were you able to make any determinations based on your observations there?
Yeah, it looks to me to be more of a brown hiking type shoe, yes.
And as compared to the winterized boot, is there anything that would exclude that as being this footwear?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir. You can resume the stand. I'm just going to show you, first of all, these two photographs. Ask you if you recognize what's depicted in them.
These are the same from the video clip, yes.
And does this show the video clip inside of a home?
Yes.
And I'd ask you to take a look at these. There's 4 photographs there. recognize the scenes depicted in those photographs?
Yes, they're of the video clip in a convenience store.
And also, again, similar to what those segments that you had seen from the video.
That is correct.
These are the next two.
No objection.
(362) A and B, 363 A through B.
Thank you. No, if I could try these as well. Publishing, please.
This is in the 362 page, recognize that one photograph that we showed.
Yes. That is another one, yes.
Okay, so 363A, recognize that this is a photograph from that video at the convenience store.
That is correct. The same convenience store for the video clip.
363C.
Yes, the same.
All of these depicting footwear of that individual wearing a brown boot.
That is correct.
And the last one, 363D.
That is the same, yes.
Thank you, sir. That's all the questions I have.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hedges.
Good afternoon.
You're from Oregon, sir?
Yes, I am.
And you were flown here by the prosecution to testify today?
That is correct.
And you're hoping to go home today, right?
I have a schedule, yes.
Okay. Now, on every pair of Nike shoes, is there a label either on the tongue, the inside of the tongue, or elsewhere on the shoe that has some information on it?
That is correct.
Okay. And there are some dates on those labels, right?
That is correct.
All right. And what do those dates mean?
The label we have for this time period, it has the order date and the print label date.
Okay. That's the order date for the shoe?
Order date when we ordered it to the factory, and a print label date is when the factory printed the label.
Okay. And does that relate at all to the date when the shoe is manufactured?
In our system, basically within a couple weeks, the shoe would be manufactured from the print label date.
So, sir, I'm going to show you Exhibit 355I, which you saw a few minutes ago. You see two dates on this label. I'll point to them, one over here, one over here.
That is correct.
Okay. And what do those dates again refer to, please?
The one on the left is the order date when we ordered the shoes from the factory, and the one on the right, which is April the 8th, 2013, is the print label date.
All right, so you ordered these, Nike ordered these from the factory in January, and the label was printed April 8th of 2013, right?
That is correct.
And then they would have been manufactured shortly thereafter.
A week or two after that, yes.
Now, am I correct, Mr. Hedges, that you were contacted by Lieutenant Stephen Bennett of the Massachusetts State Police on November 20th of 2014 regarding this case? Does that sound right?
That sounds right, Alice.
Okay. And Lieutenant Bennett sent you some photographs, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And let me show you a photograph and ask you if you recognize that as one of the photographs that Lieutenant Bennett of the State Police emailed you on November 20th, 2014.
He sent me a few of them, and I remember the three shoes, yes.
Okay, does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
I'd offer this as an exhibit.
No objection, Your Honor. Exhibit.
What?
Showing you exhibit 364. Start there. Now, you were not shown this photograph on direct examination.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. That has to be heard in sidebar.
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Hedges. Would you agree with me that this photograph depict 3 pairs of shoes on a floor.
That is correct.
Okay. And let me just zoom in on them if I can. The 2 pairs on the left, that is the one on the far left and the one in the middle, do those appear to you to be the same type of shoes that you were testifying about on direct examination, namely the one in the middle being the Air Jordan 11 Retro Low, and the one on the left being the Air Jordan Spiziki?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, this is one of the photographs that you made your identification from of those shoes back in November of last year, right?
Not necessarily this exact photograph, no.
Okay, so this is one of the photographs that you were sent?
Probably yes.
Okay. And you do recognize those shoes in this photograph, right?
I recognize all 3 of them, yes.
Okay. And you shall inform Lieutenant Bennett, right?
I identified all 3 of them, yes, even though one was not a... Sorry.
Okay. So in fact, you also were able to identify the pair on the right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Even though it's not a Nike shoe, you were still able to identify that one too?
That is correct.
Okay. Because you've been working in the shoe industry for a long, long time.
You look at a lot of shoes.
And in fact, on November 20th, when Lieutenant Bennett sent you photographs, he didn't send you any photograph of shoes in a closet, did he?
No.
So that photograph showing pairs of shoes in a closet that you were shown today on direct examination, that's something that you were shown later on.
Correct.
Now, I think you told us on direct examination that the outsole mold is an important part of a shoe, right?
That is correct.
So, putting on the screen, this is Exhibit 355F. You testified about this a few minutes ago, right?
That is the outsole of the Air Jordan 11, yes.
Okay. So that's the outsole of the Air Jordan 11. Now, the outsole is the bottom of the shoe, right?
That is correct.
And in the shoe business, that's called the outsole.
That is correct.
Okay. And the outsole is made, this outsole at least, is made from a mold, right?
It's a compression rubber, yes.
I'm sorry, what kind of rubber?
Compression rubber.
Compression rubber.
In a mold.
By compression rubber, you're referring to one of at least 3 different ways that molds can be made, right?
Well, yes, and this one is compressed, so it's a mold that you put in uncured rubber and press it with heat and pressure.
All right, so the mold is made out of some kind of metal, right?
Steel.
Okay, so you've got a steel mold, and the steel mold is what has this pattern on it, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and then you press the rubber under heat and pressure onto that steel mold, and that imprints this pattern onto the rubber, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And this particular outsole is made from, each mold has a unique identifier, right? A number or a letter and number code of some kind?
Yes.
Okay. And that identifies the mold that's used to make this particular pair of shoes, right?
Well, you will never. It's embedded into the outsole. Yes, you'd have a size and a mold code on the outsole.
Okay, but every single pair of, say, Nike Air Jordan 11 retros, the outsole for every pair of shoes is made from the same mold code, right?
Same mold code, yes.
Okay. And am I correct that the mold code for this particular outsole is OS12-1?
That is correct.
Okay. So, and this particular mold pattern, OS12-1, is that what's referred, does it contain what's referred to in the shoe business as a herringbone pattern?
No, the herringbone pattern on this shoe is the heel area, the horseshoe heel area, and basically the red area is a herringbone pattern.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So the red part up here at the top,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The red part down at the heel, right?
That is a herringbone pattern.
Herringbone.
Yes.
Zoom in on that if I can. The top. And by herringbone, do you mean it's got like a lot of wavy lines in it?
Yes.
Okay. And then the part of this OS12-1 mold in the middle, that's got some wavy lines in it too, right?
It's just a wavy design, yes.
All right, but that's not called herringbone because they're not so close together? Is that-
That's correct.
Okay. Now, and in the shoe business, are there lots and lots of different outsoles, at least in the athletic shoe business, that have herringbone in at least part of the outsole pattern?
So there's lots, yeah. I mean, herringbone is probably one of the oldest designs for footwear, yes.
All right. So like tens of millions of pairs of shoes have herringbone in the outsole, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, am I correct that this same, you told us that Nike started, the second question from Hogan, probably easier. Am I correct, sir, that Nike started, you said Nike started making when did, well, let me ask you this question. When did Nike start making the Air Jordan 11?
We made it late 1995 to be sold in 1996.
Okay. So Nike started selling the Air Jordan 11 in 1996?
Correct.
Okay. And it was still selling the Air Jordan 11 as of 2013?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and am I correct that there are quite a few different models of the Nike Air Jordan 11?
There's two different models, I guess, high and low.
Okay. Well, is there something called the Air Jordan 11 that's not retro?
Well, the initial ones were not retro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the initial ones are just the Air Jordan 11, right?
Correct.
Okay. And those use the same outsole pattern, OS 12-1, right?
That is correct.
All right. And then there's the Air Jordan 11 Retro High and the Air Jordan 11 Retro Low, right?
Correct.
And there's something else called the Air Jordan Collezione 11. What's that?
I think on that spreadsheet you have, we've put different names down to try to disguise what it is, but with that OS 11, it is the Air Jordan 11.
Okay. You were trying. What do you mean you were trying to disguise?
To distract potential counterfeiters and stuff. I mean, it's a big business.
Okay. What about something called the Air Jordan 11 Snake Low? Is that also some kind of a disguise or a?
That would be just probably the Snake Low would probably be a special material.
Okay.
But the same pattern.
Mr. Hedges, let me show you another document. You just referred to a spreadsheet. Is that the spreadsheet that you were referring to?
Yes, I created this spreadsheet, yes.
Okay, and this is a spreadsheet that you were kind enough to prepare, correct?
Yeah, I did, yes.
Okay. And does this spreadsheet detail all of the shoes made by Nike from 1996 until June of 2013 that were made with that same exact outsole code, OS 12-1?
That is correct.
Okay, I'd offer this as an exhibit.
Okay.
They marked its next exhibit.
This includes your ask.
Is it all there?
Oh, yeah, it's,
Thank you. And just before I show the Exhibit 365, so all of the shoes that we're going to be talking about in a minute that are on this spreadsheet, those all contain this exact same outsole pattern, right?
that exact same outsole design, yes.
And this spreadsheet that you were kind enough to make, it's got a bunch of pages, right?
Quite a few pages, yes.
And Nike's a very big company that makes millions and millions of pairs of shoes, right?
Every month.
Okay. So just taking take a random page of this to look at it. Start at the left. So does this show? These pages aren't numbered, so I can't
No.
say what page it is. But upper left, it shows the name of the model, right?
Well, the upper left starts with the style,
Okay.
style number,
Yeah.
and then the color code,
Okay.
and then the name of the model, yes.
What is QAM?
Means three-quarter top men's.
Okay.
That's the color description,
Okay. And then?
destination, the gender, and mold code.
Okay, and that's the mold code we're talking about, OS 12-1.
That is correct. That was my search engine right there, was the mold code.
So everything in the spreadsheet is OS 12-1.
That is correct.
Okay. Next column.
Is number of pairs ordered.
Okay. And final column.
That is the delivery date, requested delivery date.
Okay. So, so this lists all the models we've been talking about, the Air Jordan 11, the Retro High, the Retro Low, and that Felicione that you say was just put in there to throw me off.
Well, hopefully throw the counterfeiters off too.
Okay. And at the very end of this spreadsheet, sir, you were kind enough to total up all of these orders, right?
That is correct.
And all of these orders, the end date for this spreadsheet is June of 2013, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So am I correct that the grand total of all the shoes made by Nike with this particular outsole pattern, identical outsole pattern, as of June of 2013, was 3,001,055 pairs of shoes.
That is correct.
And you've referred a number of times, both on direct and cross-examination, counterfeiters, right?
That is correct.
So there are companies out there that make shoes to try to make them look like Nikes, but they're not real Nikes, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, is there a model of Nike known as the Nike Future?
That is a new model with the same outsole, but it's after June of 2013,
Okay.
yes.
So after June of 2013, Nike introduced a model called the Nike Future with this, using that same outsole, OS 12-1.
That is correct.
Okay. But those Nike Futures that were introduced after June of 2013, those are not included in your spreadsheet, right?
No.
So no Nike Futures will be included in that 3 million plus pairs of shoes, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, am I correct that the Nike Retro, the shoe that we've been talking about today, is available in a number of different sizes?
Yes.
Okay. And Nike sizes are fairly standardized to Nike, aren't they?
To Nike, yes.
Okay. So there's if a Nike size 11, for example, does that mean that the heel to toe length of the shoe is 11 inches?
No.
Okay. What does it mean?
It's just size 11. It's been through the history of shoemaking, and size 11, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just 11 inches, sorry.
All right. Well, let me show you the document. Does Nike have a website, sir?
Yes.
And on the website, does Nike provide a means for people to measure their feet in order to determine what size Nike shoes they should order?
I've never looked at the website, sorry.
Okay.
But I would hope they have some type of education, yes.
Okay, well then I won't show you this.
Yeah.
In any event, the Retro is available in different sizes, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And the Retro is also available, so it's available, for example, in size 11, right?
Yes.
And size 12?
Yes.
And size 13?
Yes.
And size 14?
Yes.
Okay. And it's also available in half sizes, isn't it?
Most of the time, probably most styles.
Is it available, sir, in half sizes?
Yes.
Okay. So the Nike Retro 11 Low is available in size 11 and a half, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And it's available in size 12 and a half, right?
That is correct.
And it's available in size 13 and a half, right?
Yes.
Okay. And show you again 355F. This outsole pattern, OS 12-1, am I correct that the particular element of that outsole pattern, meaning like all the different lines and how far apart those lines are from one another, that's going to vary to some extent depending on the size of the shoe?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. I have no more questions.
That number Mr. Sultan gave you, the 3,001,055 shoes, that's all the shoes made as Jordan's, Air Jordan 11s, is that right?
That is all the shoes that were made with that mold.
Okay, so, but with regard to the sole pattern, as you've just indicated, different sizes have different sole patterns, true?
Well, it's the same design, but it's just enlarged, I guess, yes.
Right, so if we took a size 13 and we said this is the sole pattern, if it went to 12, it would actually be a different pattern because the lines wouldn't, they shrink.
It's a slight difference, yes.
Okay. And so out of the 3,001,055, how many of those, just the Air Jordan 11s, are size 13?
I didn't look that up.
Okay. Would you agree with me, you, in your business, you have an understanding of, there's a bell curve of shoe sizes?
Yes.
In those shoe sizes, there's a standard size that is the top of the bell curve. And then, of course, as you get to larger feet or smaller feet, the numbers that you manufacture drop off.
Depending on the category, yes.
Okay. Now, with regard to the retro, so the Air Jordan 11 retro, the ones we're talking about with the patent white leather and then the black on top, how many of those shoes were even made?
93,000, I think it is.
Okay, 93,000. And then from that, how many, what percentage of those were size 13?
I didn't look that up.
Okay. Do you know where the size 13 sits on the bell curve?
It's decreasing quite a bit, yes.
Okay, so what is the standard, in the peak of the bell curve when you're manufacturing?
The peak of the bell curve would be 10.5, 11, 11.5, basically, for basketball.
Okay. And so obviously 13's on the top side but decreasing, and then anything under that decreases on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. So 93,000 of those shoes were made, is that right?
90 plus, let's put it that way, yeah, 90 plus, yeah.
Oh, 90 plus, okay.
Yeah.
But in all sizes?
Correct.
Okay. So some lesser number you would agree in size 13?
Yes.
And in terms of the distribution of those shoes, where did those 90,000?
The majority of them went to the big chains for the launch.
But those are all, the 90,000 was here in America?
Yes, these are all shipped to USA.
Okay. Now, the mold pattern used for these shoes, you've indicated, is different for a size 11, for a size 11 and a half, 12, 12 and a half, 13. Is that
Separate
Object
molds.
to that, Your Honor.
Objection's the same. In form of the question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just tell us about the mold pattern for a size 13 shoe compared to the mold for a 12 and a half.
There are different molds. We make shoes mold by size, and it's 1/8 of an inch difference.
Okay, so one mold doesn't fit? It
No.
doesn't it gets stretched to go up a size or down a size?
No.
And what effect does that have on the pattern? So on the mold for a 13 compared to the mold for, say, a 12, is there a difference?
The design's the same, but it's again, it's the unique size. I mean, if you put overlays on them, they would be different. You would see that they wouldn't line up exactly the same because they're going to be different.
Okay. Now, Mr. Sultan also asked you about there's two different things on the tongue of the shoe. Is that true in terms of dates?
Yes.
Okay. And those, and it's actually, I guess, maybe technically not on the tongue, but on the side of the shoe.
Well, sometimes on the tongue, sometimes on the side, depending on each shoe.
And you've inspected these shoes, is that true?
That is correct.
And you confirm that they were legitimate, authentic Nike Air Jordan Retro 11s, low.
Real. They are real.
Real. Now, when he asked you about the dates, he indicated, I think you had indicated there was a date on the left side that indicates the ordering date?
Yeah, when we order from the factory, yes.
Okay. And then the other date is, can you just...
It's a print label date.
Okay. Now, are those dates always, that's from the tag, the print label date, is that true? Meaning that's what's shown on the on the tag, well, let me ask it this
Yeah.
way. Those dates, can they be different and yet the same shoes came out together, were sold together?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, when you say, oh, yes, can you explain how does that happen? So if the date is different, one being, say, March, one being April, the print label date, explain how or why that is, it can be different.
In a production system, you do shoes by a pair, and if you have any problems in that process, you may set one pair aside, you may reject a half a pair, and then you may match it up with another half pair from another, again, another production lot or another print label date.
So there'd be nothing unusual about if this pair had two different dates on the print label date?
No, nothing unusual at all.
And in fact, does that change in any way your opinion that these are authentic Nike Air Jordan Retro 11s lows and that they were produced, you know, as a pair?
They're real.
Okay, nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Very briefly, Mr. Hedges, you just testified on redirect that there were some 90,000 plus pairs of Nike Retro 11 low made, right?
In a specific color.
In this specific color?
The specific color of the shoe, the white.
Okay, the ones that are white patent leather on the top.
White patent leather on the bottom, or the white and black on the upper, yes.
Okay.
That specific color. And
Okay. Now, you've seen footwear impressions, right?
yes,
Okay. And footwear impressions are an impression of the outsole, right?
that is correct.
Okay. So all you can tell from a footwear impression is what's on the bottom of the shoe, right?
That is correct.
You can't tell the footwear impression doesn't tell you anything about what color is on the top of the shoe, does it?
That is correct.
Thank you, sir.
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
You may sit down. We're going to take the lunch recess at this time. Please keep your minds suspended. Don't discuss the case among yourselves or with anyone.
But all rise for the jury, please.
Excuse me, see you at 2 o'clock.
Okay. Court's going to stand in recess.